Good morning, everybody. I am here in beautiful Slovenia with my daughter Taj. Today I wanted to talk to you about a journal that I started to keep about 11 years ago on the day that my first daughter, Luca, was born. Now, I started to keep this journal because when I asked my parents about their history and to tell me some stories about when they were younger, I didn't really get much out of them. They told me that they were in an arranged marriage when they were about 20 years old. Then they moved to Hong Kong for a year for business reasons. Then they moved to Miami. But I didn't really get a lot of detail. And I decided that for my kids, I wanted them to have a very detailed history about everything that happened. But Taj, I know you know about this journal. I know you haven't read it yet. But what can you tell everybody about it?
Well, my dad has always worked on a journal. He always told us he was working on one. He's never let us read the journal, probably because it's a surprise. But
Well, you haven't read the journal because there are things in there that you shouldn't read until you're older. Probably 18, maybe 21.
What did you put in the journal?
Well, there's everything in the journal. It's an honest account of everything that happened. So I talk about all the decisions that Sina and I made when we sold our house, we sold all our stuff, and we moved off to France. Why we did that, the fears we had.
Nice.
When I started a new business in 2010, the fears, the insecurities, all the bad things that happened, but all the good things that happened, all the lessons I learned from it, everything's in there. So, yeah, when you're older, I'll give it to you probably when you go off to college, and you and Luca will be able to read about everything that happened and why it happened.
Can you tell me about how many words there are?
Right now, there are 300 single-spaced typewritten pages in that journal, and it's still a work in progress. Every time I go on a plane for a business trip, I take out the computer, sit there for about an hour, and type up kind of an account of what has happened over the last couple of months. That's the way I've been doing it. So now I'm telling you all this because a couple of weeks ago in the Digital Hospitality Clubhouse event hosted by Sean Walchef, I told this story because the idea of keeping a journal came up, and apparently it resonated with a couple of people, particularly Matt Wampler, who posted about this on LinkedIn a few days ago. And so I told him, you know what, I'm going to make my next video about this. So here's the story. Now, when I look back and reflect on the things I wrote, the way I was feeling, the things I was going through, back in 2010 when I was starting up my first business, Regatta Travel Solutions, I also learn a lot from it. And it's great to look back and learn from mistakes I made, things that happened that even I forget a lot of the little details about what was going on back then. So I just thought I'd share that story with all of you. Matt thought it would be good for more people to hear that story. And I hope you're all having a good week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.